Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. I swear, I feel like I just made a deal with the mafia, and now I can't get out because apparently we're back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Thomas and Friends Home Media Reviews. Words I honestly never thought I would say because Mattel hasn't given us anything. If you recall, last year in 2018, all we got physically was a reprint of Thomas's Halloween Adventures with a new glow-in-the-dark slipcover, and they thought, hey, that'd be cool. But we didn't get anything new. Not new content-wise, at least. Just a little while ago, a couple months ago, in fact, it was announced that Big World, Big Adventures, the 2018 special, was coming to U.S. home media markets. DVD only this time. Just like with Journey Beyond Sodor. No Blu-ray, which of course pisses me off. But aside from the fact that they gave us a mediocre special a year after it premiered, hey, I'm actually kind of excited to be back for this show. It's been a long time. Close to a year, actually, since the show ended. And we've done some other things, but you know, every now and then we gotta go back to the cash cow, right? So let's stop prolonging the inevitable. Let's go ahead and jump right into the history section of Big World, Big Adventures. So Big World, Big Adventures' history is actually quite intriguing, considering the fact that it first premiered in UK theaters in July of 2018. Then it got another theatrical premiere in Australia in August of the same year. It then came out on DVD in Australia in September of 2018. So Australia was the first one to get a physical copy of Big World, Big Adventures. So I'm sorry, Australia. We had to give you that first. Sorry about that. It then aired on US televisions. September 7th of 2018 was when it first aired on television. I believe it aired on Nick Jr., and there was a lot of hype around it for some odd reason, because apparently people were excited to watch this. I wasn't. I avoided it, because I heard it was bad from several people. But now I had to watch it for the show. Yay! Then it premiered on Canadian television a few days later. It was released in China on DVD on October 18th. Released in the UK on DVD in November of 2018. I'm not going to go through the rest of this. We're just going to jump ahead to September of 2019, which is when Big World, Big Adventures hit the US and Canadian markets on DVD and digital HD, apparently, according to the wiki. I guess you can buy this digitally. So that's basically it for Big World, Big Adventures. I mean, aired in the UK theatrically, then it got released onto DVD in the UK, then aired on television here once, which I gotta say was a really stupid idea. Mattel, for real, you air your special that was supposed to relaunch the Thomas brand. You know, make it more relevant for nowadays in our PC culture. It's PC culture gone mad, Mason. Oh, it's PC culture gone mad is what it is nowadays. And you air this special once? I don't understand their marketing around Big World, Big Adventures. I don't get it. I don't even know, like, where the show airs nowadays. Does it air on Nick Jr.? I think it does, because I don't watch the show anymore. I gave up on it because it's bad, but I don't even know where it airs anymore. I'm pretty sure it airs on Nick Jr. I'm pretty sure this aired on Nick Jr. when it first premiered here in the US. And I haven't heard about another airing since, so I can only assume that they aired it once. Doesn't make any sense. And then you wait a year to release this physically. Which, in my opinion, you shouldn't have released this physically, because your sales have been in the toilet. And then I wouldn't have to cover it on the show, and I wouldn't be here very angry. I have to watch this movie now. Mattel, what is with your marketing strategy, and what is with the products you put out? I guarantee you, in the next 5 years, they're not going to exist anymore. Because they just keep making stupid decisions and wasting money on physical prints of DVDs that are not going to sell. Anyway, that does it for the history section of Big World, Big Adventures. Let's go ahead and jump right into the close-up section of Big World, Big Adventures. Well, I never thought I'd say this, but hey everybody, here's our close-up look at Big World, Big Adventures, the movie here on Thomas & Friends Home Media Reviews. I don't know if I said this already in the close-up. Well, no, we're in the close-up right now. I don't know if I said this earlier in the opening part of this video, but I'm kind of excited to be back for Thomas & Friends Home Media Reviews, but not really because it's for this piece of garbage. So here we go. Thomas's Epic Journey up there at the top. Thomas & Friends logo. If I could straighten this up, that'd be good. Thomas & Friends logo, Big World, Big Adventures, the movie. Young Bao up there with the portion representing China. A couple other places there. Thomas and Nia on the front with an elephant and a giraffe there on the front. This poster is honestly not that bad. I just wish it was for a better movie. Might be showing my hand a little bit there for the recommends later on in this video. The side, Mattel Creations, Thomas & Friends, Big World, Big Adventures, the movie. That's the same portrait shot of Thomas from Journey Beyond Sodor, so laziness item number 1 right there. DVD logo, Universal logo with your product number down there at the bottom. The back is pretty much bare bones. All aboard to Discovery. Did they seriously trademark the term Discovery? Can I not say that? Am I going to get copyright claim now because I said the word Discovery? Discovery! Trademark. Stupid. Barcode there. Blurb. Looked like it was badly photoshopped on this kind of cool poster here on the back with Thomas, Nia, Ace, and Sir Topham Hatt. Bonus features include meet the characters and 5 new sing-along songs. No game or anything, just that. And then your technical specifications and such on the bottom along with legalese. And right there it says disc made in Mexico. So this hopped the border to get over here. One thing you'll probably notice is there's no slipcover on this. No, I didn't take this off before the video began. There's just no slipcover. We got nothing in terms of that. And man, you guys are going to hate what's inside, because I certainly do. No inserts or anything, just a bare bones disc. Big World, Big Adventures, colored blue instead of uniform reflective gray. But there's no artwork on the disc. And on top of that, no inserts or anything. This was the bare minimum that Mattel could have given us here in the US. And this DVD is honestly pathetic. I'm going to have to say this right now. Before we even get into the menu tour and the ending portion of this where I give my recommends and whatnot, I've already watched this by the time I'm recording this close-up. This picture quality looks like crap. I mean, this DVD is pathetic. I'm not even going to bother to readjust it for later. It's just going to sit like that. So, with all that being said, let's go ahead and move on to our menu tour of Big World, Big Adventures. Alrighty, everybody. Here we are for a menu tour of Big World, Big Adventures. The menu looks okay. I mean, it's just like this poster here, and the picture quality is not great, of course, but it's kind of okay, I guess. We've got 4 options, as per usual. Play feature, select the scene, bonus features, and setup. That's interesting. There's not play or scene selection or anything, or, I actually changed that up a little bit. Select a scene. What do we got here? Oh, our scenes actually have titles. Isn't that kind of cool? We've got Where's Thomas, Africa, Wake Up in Brazil. Next up, We're a Good Team, Utah Salt Flats. I guess they went to Utah. I don't remember that, actually. It's been a while since I've watched this. I don't remember them ever going to Utah, because nothing bad ever happens in Utah. Sometimes You Make a Friend and Coming Home. We only have 8 scenes, for real? This is 90 minutes and they only give us 8 chapters? I am just finding more and more things to hate about this release. Bonus features, these are lackluster. The menu's lackluster too. I mean, it's just that. Sing-along songs and meet the characters. Do we actually have another menu for the sing-along song? We do! Wow, cool. Where in the World is Thomas? Free and Easy, Wake Up, We're Friends, Sometimes You Make a Friend. And Meet the Characters, I think, is just another, featurette thing. Or no, we've got options for who we can actually meet. You can meet Ace, Bo, Nia, and Young Bao. So, yeah, let's just take a look at one of these. I'm not going to unmute the TV or anything, because I don't want to get copyrighted, but let's just look at... Okay, so Thomas is presumably talking to us about... Well, that's a weird screenshot. He's presumably talking to us about his friend Ace, even though Ace is a terrible person. And you can see there it's only about a minute long, so they're pretty short featurettes about these characters. I still don't much care for those. I wish we got something else. And then for setup, spoken language, English 2.0, Spanish 2.0, And then subtitles is just English. Of course, we don't even get a 5.1 mix for this. We get a 2.0 mix. Yeah, great. Good job, Mattel. You all were lazy bastards with this stupid release. Okay, that concludes the menu tour. Let's go ahead and jump on back and answer the 5 main questions as always. Alrighty, Rooski, we're back from the close-up, and now it's time to answer the 5 main questions as always. Number 1, where can you pick this product up? Well, you can still find it physically on store shelves, of course. It just came out a few weeks ago, so you could probably still find a lot of unsold stock at your stores because no one is buying this. I mainly found this on shelves at Walmart. I think Walmart's probably the cheapest price you're going to get for this. I only paid $10 for it at mine. Although my Walmart was a little weird. The day this came out, they didn't stock it. Seriously, I went to Walmart, saw the price tag for it, Thomas & Friends, Big World, whatever the hell it is. $9.96 was the price tag, and there was no stock on the shelves. Nothing. I went to another Walmart a few days later, Walmart out by my college campus. They had about 3 copies. So I was like, did Mattel not ship them copies? But I have to think that was just my Walmart. My Walmart sucks when it comes to physical media. I mean, I went to buy John Wick Chapter 3. That came out the same day as Big World Big Adventures. Trust me, I was more excited to buy that over this. But I went to buy John Wick Chapter 3, and there were no 4K sets out on the shelves. It wasn't because they sold all of them. It was just because they hadn't put them out. All they had were DVDs and a couple regular Blu-rays. Thankfully, though, after doing a little walk around the home media section of Walmart, an employee put one lone 4K version of John Wick 3 out on the shelf, and I was like, mine. But we're not talking about John Wick 3 here, because that's something I would actually like to talk about. We're talking about Big World Big Adventures. And yeah, you can still find this physically at Walmart, Target, places like that. Not Best Buy, though. Best Buy doesn't carry Thomas & Friends products. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? Hey, we can finally answer yes to this question, because, yeah! This is weird doing home media reviews in like a modern sense, considering that, you know, all my previous ones had been no longer in print for the most part. But now we can answer yes! Yay! One good thing about this release. Ha! Number 3, should you pick this product up? Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. I don't like Big World Big Adventures. I didn't think this movie was all that great. It was just so not Thomas, in my opinion. Obviously, the big criticisms of it are, you know, the bouncing, that's still there. Although it's not really as prevalent as it was in JBS. I didn't notice it a lot. You know, the animation's not great. The plains of Africa looked really bad and really barren. And just the character of Thomas himself feels off in this movie. I mean, he just abandons his entire home like at the snap of a finger. And I get it's a plot convenience because we need to have a movie, but it just didn't feel like it was in his character to do that. On top of that, when he leaves, like he's done before previously in this continuity, or did the Great Discovery and all of the times when Thomas left Sodor didn't happen, everybody flips shit because of that. Everyone goes insane. They're like, where's Thomas? Where's Thomas? We gotta find Thomas. Let's shut down the entire railway because we gotta find one tank engine. No, Sir Topham Hatt should be saying, well, sorry about that. Tank engines are expendable. I can get another one on eBay right now. I mean, no, you don't shut down an entire railway because one engine is missing. And I get it, you know, Sir Topham Hatt thinks of his engines as family. But come on, shutting down an entire railway to find one engine? How much money was lost on those days that everyone was looking for Thomas? How many passengers were late to work that day or something like that? I can't stop thinking about the logistics of that and how the railway would basically go bankrupt in the span of 12 hours because Thomas left and everyone went to go find him. That was ridiculous. And Ace, oh my God, do I hate Ace. He's terrible. He's a terrible individual. I heard from one of my friends, they were like, well, I saw Ace as more of a villainous character. And I thought, yeah, Ace is a villain, but the film doesn't treat him as such. The movie says that Ace is a good guy, and he's just kind of, you know, there to help Thomas along. No, Ace is a villain. He leads Thomas away from his main goal, which is trying to get Nia back to Sodor. Ace derails the movie. No pun intended there. Ace is a bad character. I'm just going to say that right now. He's bad. I didn't like him at all. And again, aside from the fact that in his opening scene, he's basically Lightning McQueen as he jumps across Flying Scotsman and... God, I can't even say that without sounding ridiculous. This isn't Thomas anymore. That's my main issue with Big World, Big Adventures, is the fact that it's not Thomas anymore. This is a fun... Well, fun is a loose word there. This is a colorful and very spontaneous cartoon. It is not Thomas. I don't care that it says Thomas and Friends on the cover. I don't care that Thomas just happens to be the main character's name. This is not Thomas and Friends anymore. This is not what Thomas should be, in my opinion. Even the comedic moments with Sir Topham Hatt, which I enjoyed throughout seasons 19 and 20, because they were sparse, and they lasted maybe a minute at most. In this movie, it's nothing but Sir Topham Hatt trying to be funny. And it grated on me. Absolutely ridiculous. It's also ridiculous by the fact that the controller of a railway leaves the railway to go find one engine. I'll tell you this, though. When I looked at the runtime of Big World, Big Adventures, I audibly went, oh, hell no. Because this is almost 90 minutes. This clocks in at, what, 85, 86 minutes? And they still couldn't give us a complete story in 85 minutes! I mean, I was clock watching during the climax when Thomas saves Nia from falling off of the mountain. We had 10 minutes left to wrap up the story. 10 minutes! And it just kind of ends. Kind of like the movie just kind of starts. There's no catalyst for what happens at the beginning of the film. It just starts with Thomas in a yard. It's the most abrupt start to a Thomas movie in history, and I did not like it. Then, of course, we get our big montage sequence with Ace jumping across the tracks, and it's like, hey, yo, mate, I'm Australian! And I'm like, oh, kill me. I also didn't like that there wasn't a narrator. Some people out there prefer the fact that there's no narrator. And I can see where they're coming from. You know, the narrator was virtually non-existent in Journey Beyond Sodor. He really only had maybe like 10 or 12 lines. But he was still there. He was still a presence. And that's always something I've enjoyed about Thomas, is the fact that there's a narrator there. And not having one in this, I don't know, it just didn't feel right to me. I would have preferred if Mark Morgan didn't get axed from the franchise, and he had maybe like 5 lines in this, because then I would have known a narrator was there. I will choose to say some nice things about Big World, Big Adventures before kicking it one more time. I kind of like Nia. Nia's alright. Okay, she's not terrible. Do I think she should have replaced Edward and Henry? No. Do I think she should be on the Steam Team? No, of course not. But she's not bad. Okay, her character needed a little bit more smoothing out. She's functional in the film in her role, but I didn't care about her all that much. That's where the writing fails, of course, but I kind of liked her a bit. She wasn't annoying or anything. She works in her role, and I enjoy some of the songs. You know, I can't name any off the top of my head currently, but a few of them I liked. I was kind of grooving to the African Trucks and their, like, parody of The Lion Sleeps Tonight. At least that's what I thought when they were singing. I kind of enjoyed that. It was nice. I was kind of tapping my foot to that. Got a smirk. And there are some lines that got a smirk. You know, they got a chuckle. No gut laughs or anything, but they got a chuckle. I'll admit that. There's just too much wrong with this movie for me to say that, yeah, you should pick it up. Because you shouldn't. This movie is bad. No, I don't recommend it. Because it's not what I consider to be Thomas anymore. I know a lot of you are probably laughing like, oh, man, that's rich coming from you. In your Thomas series, you have them referencing, like, films and whatnot and pop culture and stuff. Huh, you're funny. You think your series is Thomas? Well, it's my interpretation of Thomas, and in my opinion, my interpretation of it is better than this, because at least I maintain the spirit of Thomas. I'm going to pat myself on the back here for just a little minute. In my series, I never show the engines going to a movie theater. I never show them going to the concession stand and paying for overpriced popcorn, because that would be stupid. They're engines. In Big World, Big Adventures, I feel like that would happen. They would show that. It would be a dream sequence, and everybody out there would justify that it's fine because it's a dream sequence. What never actually happened? It's only a dream sequence. Stop complaining. Stop using dream sequences, please. Okay, enough of that. This movie would show that. I don't, because that's not Thomas. The engines are engines. They exist in a real-life kind of scenario where they stay on their rails, they don't bounce, they are real locomotives. At least my series kind of keeps to that idea. Okay, this doesn't. This doesn't treat the engines as actual locomotives, it treats them as cartoon characters. I finally understand where people were coming from when they were hating on Journey Beyond Sodor. Way back when, they were like, the bouncing doesn't make sense, these characters feel weightless, they're not locomotives and whatnot. I finally understand where you guys were coming from, and honestly, I'm moving more towards your side. I don't want like completely 100% Railway series accuracy, because in my opinion, some of the aspects of the Railway series put me to sleep, but I can handle a level of realism, because at least it makes the engines feel like they have some weight to them. This movie does not. Like physical weight, not like character weight or in the plot weight. Like physical weight. Like these are 2-ton locomotives. Probably more tons than that. They are multiple-ton locomotives. They should not be able to bounce. And before we move on here, because I've already said I don't recommend Big World Big Adventures, the packaging. Mattel, what the hell were you thinking? There's no slipcover to this. It's just a flimsy DVD case. The back looks poorly photoshopped with the blurb in the middle of it. And then the disc is just nothing? We get no artwork, nothing, just a shat out disc? This was just shat out. This is ridiculous. No inserts, no nothing. There's the home media side of the review. God, this was just lazy. It almost feels like this was an afterthought, quite honestly, that they were like, oh crap, we forgot to put out Big World Big Adventures in the US after airing it one time on television. We should do that. Yeah, man, we should probably do that. 11 months later. Hey guys, it's September. It's been a year since Big World Big Adventures premiered. Have you guys got those DVDs ready yet? I didn't think we were still doing that. Well, we are. Get it ready. Come on. Do you want us to put, like, any effort into it or something? No, make it as cheap and stupid as possible. Just get it out, all right? The people need to see this. Okay. Hey, Jim, cancel those slipcovers. We're shipping them without them. That's how I imagine the conversation at Mattel HQ went when they were going to release Big World Big Adventures. This was lazy! So I apologize if that was a little bit downer there, but let's move on to number 4, shall we? Where should you pick this product up? You shouldn't! But if you are, go to Walmart. It's cheaper there. And number 5, what price should you pay? Ha! Nothing! $10, standard new DVD price. Don't pay anything more than $15 because this is not worth $15. This isn't worth $10, the $10 I paid for this. It's not worth anything, really. So, I apologize to all of you who are Big World Big Adventures fans who were hoping that I would like this. Honestly, after the Journey Beyond Sodor HMR, when I did the complete 180 flip on that movie, did you really think I would like this? I mean, this ain't good. However, though, it was kind of fun to come back to Thomas & Friends Home Media reviews. As I said, kind of like coming back to the cash cow, this series was the moneymaker. I'm not going to mince words. This series made money. And it's always nice to go back to your roots every now and then. I mean, Cars 3 did it, so why don't I do it? And let me just go ahead and say this right now. There's been a lot of arguments on Twitter about people who like Big World Big Adventures, and there are some people out there who are saying that, well, the only reason that you like it is because you want to be a contrarian. I can see the reasoning for that. I was a contrarian. I'll go ahead and admit that right now. When the community was taking a fat shit on Journey Beyond Sodor, I was a contrarian in that, saying how, no, this is actually going to be good. Give it a chance, guys. I was a contrarian. I'll admit that. People do that. But I don't think it's a majority of people out there. I think there are actual Thomas fans who like this. I don't know how. I wish I had that mentality. But there are some Thomas fans out there who like the direction the series is going. I personally don't. That's why I stopped watching the TV series, and that's why I avoided watching this movie until it came out physically here in the US. But guys, can we be respectful to each other? I mean, can we not be the Star Wars fandom when The Last Jedi came out and just start ripping at each other's throats? Like, can we at least be the tiniest bit respectful? So no, I don't think if you like Big World Big Adventures, you're just doing it to be a contrarian. But I also don't think if you hate it, you're not necessarily wrong either. I agree with you if you hate it, because this movie is bad, in my opinion. No one's opinion is fact. Never forget that. No one's opinion is fact, unless it's mine, in which case, it's always fact. That was a joke, in case anybody wanted to, use it against me at some point, probably in court. That was a joke. So guys, that concludes this installment of Thomas and Friends Home Media Reviews. And as for me, and the future of this show, who's to say it can't come back? I've been doing supplementals for the last 2 months for this show, because I've just been buying some more stuff. And Mattel could continue to be stupid and continue to give us new products, in which case they're going to give me new videos to make and more money to make. So I didn't say never after Thomas's holiday collection came out. Of course, I kind of treated that like the show's series finale, and hey, look at that, it turns out it's not. So never say never, this show could come back. As long as we keep getting new stuff, I will continue to cover it for the show. Even if I hate it, I'm still going to do it, because I enjoy making this show. But if you dropped off the channel because you didn't like the fact that Home Media Reviews ended, or Thomas and Friends Home Media Reviews ended, and you came back for this, you should check out some of the other stuff I've done in the last year, because I have branched out, done a lot more different content. I've got a Let's Play series going right now, Lego Star Wars. It's not very popular, but I enjoy making it. Check that out if you're interested in it. Also, if you don't know, I have a spin-off series of this show running currently, Home Media Reviews, where we just talk about regular Hollywood blockbuster films. The first season of that's already out. It's 13 episodes long, so you can just binge watch it. It's a pretty good series. I enjoyed making it. Second season's premiering next year. So I'd say come back next week, because we're going to take a look at something else, but I can't, because this is it for right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. Even if I didn't enjoy the experience of watching this movie, I still enjoy talking about it here with you all. That's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, good night, everybody.